welcome to our channel. And again, thanks for watching and subscribing. So I also want to talk about some things here where I definitely need to adapt to, and some, honestly, I might never be able to adapt to. Number one, first and foremost, is the metric system. Now, I'm pretty good at eyeballing things, measuring things by inches and feet and things of that nature, and how much things weigh in pounds. And here it's kilograms and centimeters and all this stuff, and it's just enough to make my head explode. It's like fish out of water, some might say, when it comes to this kind of topic. So I have no frame of reference, so it is rough. Whenever I weigh myself on the scale, for example, it's always in kilograms everywhere, so I have to immediately go to my phone, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to convert it. So two is, I'm sure something that people would be able to figure out pretty quickly, is that language barrier. Even though in some of the other videos I've bragged about how nice it is, that everything's in English here, and oh, English is taught in school, da 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 da, everybody knows it, da da da. Well, it's like, no, not everybody knows it. And I definitely come to the problems with, I'll give you all a main example. I love the Hawker Center coffee. I can make a whole video about the Hawker Center coffee. It's crazy good, super inexpensive. But I'm particular in that I always want it just black. I get it iced a lot of times, but that's secondary to, they put the dehydrated milk in it, and the cream and the sugar. It's like, I just want it black. I cannot stress how difficult it is to convey this to people here, that I just want black coffee. And it's like, it's at those moments where it's like, man, I wish I could speak Mandarin, because I would be in a world of good stuff. So one of the lasting legacies I'm assuming from the British here is that it is the way the cars drive is the opposite from the United States. So I'm starting to finally get better at that. I went for a walk today to the wet market, and I'm getting better about, you've got to look which directions to go to cross the streets, and you got to triple check to do that if you're someone like me, just to make sure, just to be safe. And for example, like getting in taxi cabs, I'm a tall guy by the standards over here, so a lot of times the area I like to sit in the United States is the area behind the driver, but it's not good to do that here because it takes away my leg space. So it's these things that I need to be cognizant of. I'm starting to get better at it, but something that I need to pay attention to. Fourth thing, and I'm sure that some people here who are locals would think this is really funny, but for me it can be terrifying. When I talk to local merchants and stuff, when I'm trying to buy something, say I'm at a shop or I'm at the grocery, they might come to me super hyper aggressively. Like in the United States, you might think that they're trying to fist fight you, and it's not that I get like jolted back or whatever, but you gotta understand that this is just a cultural thing. This is just how people are here, how they talk. It might sound like to an American hyper aggressive and that they're super upset at me, but it's just business as usual, and it's like things you have to pay attention to. I'm indoctrinated into it a little bit, so I'm cognizant of it, so I'm not offended, but it can still take you aback sometimes. So 5, talking about the transportation thing again. Man, bus seats here are tiny. They're really small. Even our shuttle to go to the subway, I am literally hanging out halfway through the aisle, and I'm in better physical condition than I've been in a long time, and body weight is pretty low for me, and still I cannot fit in the furniture here sometimes. It's just one of those things I have to adapt to. It's like, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Number 6, something you gotta brace yourself for here. You gotta stand in lines. They call them queues here. You gotta stand in the queues here for tons of things. You gotta be prepared to stand in line. You ain't gonna get your stuff lickety split like that, no matter what it is, especially if it's a service like at a bank. The banks are crowded. They're time consuming to go to. If you wanna see people, you have to wait in queues for a while. Be merciful and thankful and grateful if they have stools for you to sit on, which some of them do. A lot of times you gotta stand and wait in line for things. We've gone out to eat before. We did the Thai place, and we did a video on it, but we didn't show you all how long we stood in line for. We had to stay, we probably stood in a queue for about, I would estimate 25 minutes, just standing straight up on there. No seats, nothing. So it's definitely a huge difference here from back home. So another thing, Seven, you gotta get used to here is that whenever you go into a private residence, totally customary, it'd probably be blasphemous if you didn't, you take off your shoes. You immediately take off your shoes. We take off our shoes when we come in here. But on the flip side is we don't just walk around barefoot, which is what I would do back home. We have specific sandals that we wear to walk inside of our condominium itself, because I noticed it quickly because I didn't have house slide sandals. It started to hurt my knees walking around and standing up straight on whatever our floor is. It looks like it's marble. I don't even know what it is, but you need it for like ease of congestion on your back and body. It's something you don't think of, but you're beyond grateful that you have it, and it's super important. And I've been to 2 private residences of Joy's friends, and it was without question, you take off your shoes immediately without thinking twice. Something we're talking about, because I'm sure people on my dad's side of the family and even my sisters and my dad, they wouldn't be able to handle with the weather here. It can be even more viciously hot and humid where I'm from in the United States in the summer, but it's not like that year round. And there's 4 seasons defined. There's a wintry ice storm blizzard coming through here any day now. Here it's summer 365 and it is humid every day. That's why you all see me wearing the gym clothes and the Under Armour stuff nonstop. It's not because I'm a spokesman for the company, which I might as well be at this point, is that I know from experience what works and what doesn't when it comes to this kind of weather, and that I go to the gym and things like that. These things help with me, and especially that kind of clothing gear, because without it, I don't know, I'd probably melt, because around the condominium here, my weapon of choice as far as clothing is wearing a bathing suit at this point. So that just goes to put in perspective what we're dealing with here. And whenever I go somewhere, I've got on speed dial on my phone immediately. I seldom go anywhere without getting the weather forecast that tells you a 2-hour weather forecast, but even that can be wrong because it's been wrong. But I try to take it with a grain of salt. I try to let the optimistic man on the voice recording tell me, and I want to believe in him and have faith and tell me that it's all good. But I could still get a deluge at any time of day here without a doubt. So it is what it is. It's all about adapting and making it work. Thanks for watching, and please leave in the comment section any likes or anything, suggestions about places for us to do, to shop, to eat, to explore. I like doing hiking and outdoors activities. I know it can be limiting here, but I appreciate any and all suggestions, and I like nature in general, and we like hearing from you and hope that you all are enjoying what we're putting out, and we'll do our best to keep up the good work. So